Hey, what's up guys, it's Rafi here again, and today we're going to talk about the OnePlus 2. I just finished watching their virtual reality unveiling of the device, and it was really neat. The idea was cool to, do the whole cardboard thing which we talked about before, and just kind of watch in virtual reality as they unveil this new device to everybody. Again, the idea was really cool. In practice, after about 15 minutes or so, I was ready to throw up. I mean, you just get dizzy if you play with it for so long. Swinging around the room and all this stuff, and just after a while I had to take it off, just watch it on the phone just like that. But other than that, it was a really neat idea. The other thing they did that was cool is if you actually looked around the room as Carpe was talking about the device, you could actually find little invite codes printed around the room on the ceiling and in different places. So that was kind of neat to kind of look around for that, the little Easter eggs they like to do. So that was fun. I didn't get one of those. I couldn't get it fast enough. I was kind of just watching the thing and whatever. People are a lot faster than me, I guess, so I couldn't get any of those. But I'm sure I'll get an invite eventually like I did with the one. So I have some things written down here, some points on the device that we'll go over. And the biggest thing that people are going to complain about right away, and I know it, is that the phone doesn't have a Quad HD screen. And again, I don't care. It doesn't matter. They went with a 5.5 inch, which is a great size. I like that. 1080p screen. And that's fantastic to me. I think that a 1080p screen on a phone that size is more than enough. It's perfect. As long as it's sharp enough and bright enough, it should be fantastic. So no complaints from me there. It's got a big enough battery. I believe it's a 3300 milliamp hour battery on this device. So the battery life, just like on the one, should be fantastic. So I'm okay with that. It's got the Snapdragon 810 version 2, I think it is, or 2.1 or something like that on there. Whatever it is, I know it's better than the first one that everybody was complaining about overheating issues. Hopefully with this one we won't have that problem, so we don't have to worry about our OnePlus 2's overheating. Again, we'll see as we use the device when we get it, see how that goes. It's an aluminum alloy body, and it has the sandstone back cover on the device. And they'll also have available their style swap covers. So they're going to have, let's see, it says bamboo black, apricot, rosewood, and the Kevlar. My only thing with that is that remember when the OnePlus One was announced, they said that they were going to have all these different materials available for back covers for their style swaps. Never happened. Just like at the end of the life of the phone, the bamboo one came out and that was about it. And I think you needed an invite even to get the cover, so that was a disaster. So we'll see how they do it with it this time. Hopefully they're more readily available and you can actually get them right away when the OnePlus 2 comes out. Another thing they talked about, no front logo. So the front of the device is a clean look. There's no logos in the front of it. There's no design or nothing on there. Just a screen. And on the bottom of the front of the device, you have the new fingerprint reader. So they're saying that their fingerprint reader is actually faster reacting than the iPhones, which is, we'll see, because that one's pretty quick. It's the kind that you touch, not the kind that you swipe. I hate those. Those never work. So hopefully this one also works really well. So we'll see. It's a 13 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization. That we'll have to test out. The only reason why I say that is if you guys watch MKBHD videos, which you really should if you're into technology at all, he already has a OnePlus 2, and he didn't know if it had OIS in it or not. And just by using it, he was guessing that it didn't. So now that we know that it does, obviously it's not very good. Hopefully it'll get an update or something. Maybe he had pre-production software on there that wasn't letting it work to its full potential. So we'll see again if that actually works really well once we get our hands on it. It does have built-in laser autofocus like the LG G3 and the LG G4 have, and that actually does help. It does let the phone focus really quickly, so hopefully that'll work really well, just like it does on the LGs. I don't see why it wouldn't. That's a really neat feature. I don't think any other company uses it, but it's a good choice for them to add that feature to it since it actually does work really well. USB Type-C. This is the first device readily available that will have the new USB Type-C, and that's the reversible USB connector. We all know that, iPhones use that little Thunderbolt connector and you can put it any way you want and it works, and that's actually really nice to have. So USB Type-C will be able to do the same thing. That's going to be adopted by most of the companies in the new flagship phones coming out next year. OnePlus is going to have it this year, so good on them for that. Okay, they also added a mute switch to the side. That's really great. I love that. That goes back all the way to, if you're going to say iPhone, no. Actually goes all the way back to Blackberries. They used to have the little mute switch on the side. And it's a nice thing to have. You can actually just reach and right over your pants, you can actually just kind of feel your way through there and switch it over to mute when you're going into a meeting or someplace where you need your phone to be quiet. You can do that without even taking your phone out. So that's a nice thing to have. So they added that feature back. That's like a throwback feature to me. and it's a good thing, so they added that. Thank you very much for that one. And the operating system is going to be OnePlus's own Oxygen OS, which is something they built on top of Android. Remember, they had a falling out with Cyanogen mods, so there will be no more Cyanogen OS built into it. They're doing their own thing in-house, and that one's called Oxygen OS. I haven't used that one yet, so we'll see how I like it. They usually add a few things here and there, and I mean, it's really close, the way that it looks anyways, it looks really close to stock Android, and I'm all about that, so that's perfectly fine. And they just added a few features here and there that make it better, so that'll be fantastic. I can't wait to use that. That's one of the things I'm actually most excited about, which is weird, but it is. The phone will be available on August 11th in the US and some other countries, and the price, which is something I was mad about. You watched this whole 30-minute presentation, share all the features and everything else, no price. Annoying, but they just announced it on Twitter, so it came out. There are two models. There's a 16 gigabyte and a 64 gigabyte. Not a single human being will buy the 16 gigabyte. It doesn't make any sense. That's just not enough space really on a phone. If you keep music on your phone, if you take a lot of pictures and videos, it just doesn't really work. So the 64 gigabyte model will be the one that everybody buys. But anyways, the 16 gig model is going to be available for $329, which is incredible. And the 64 gigabyte model, get this, $389 for that phone. That's incredible. If you look at an iPhone with 64 gigs, what is that, like $600 and something dollars? It's got to be at least. Same thing with the Galaxy S6. The Note 4 is like $700. I mean, these phones are really expensive, and OnePlus has done a great job of being able to give you flagship specs on the device at a really low price. So that $389 price point is fantastic. I can't wait to get my hands on it. All in all, I'm really excited about the phone. Can't wait to get my hands on it. And as soon as I do, I'll be putting up a review. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.